Have you ever been dared by someone to do something that was very, very dangerous? This is a story of three woodpeckers. It's a true story, even though it's about woodpeckers. And they were on the road and they dared each other. The last woodpecker to take flight when a car is approaching is a primate. I can't say chicken because that's just another kind of bird. It's a primate. So the three woodpeckers, not wanting to lose the dare, are all staying on the road as long as they possibly can as my car approaches. I see the three woodpeckers, and they're in the distance, but although they're coming closer and closer as I approach, and I say to myself, well, they're going to fly because that's what birds do. I don't have to worry about them or anything like that. And then I'm getting closer and they weren't flying. I said, what's wrong with these birds? Then they flew. The bird on the left flew to the left. The bird on the right flew to the right. The bird in the middle flew up because that's the way he needed to go. But up had a problem because a lot of the work his wings were doing was for lift, not speed. And he clipped my hood of my car where a hood ornament would be, although my car did not have a hood ornament. But that's at that point when he clipped my car, he trajected over the top of my car, and I could see him behind me. In my rear view mirror when I looked up, land on the ground, plump. And the way that he landed, I said to myself, I think he's still alive. Oh, I gotta check this out. I stopped my car. I got out. I walked over to the woodpecker on the ground, on the road. And sure enough, he was still alive. He was looking up at me, holding his head perched proper, but he didn't try to fly away. So I went up to him. I bent my hands down. He still did not fly. And I cupped him in my hands, and I picked him up off the ground in my hands. And there I am holding this live wild woodpecker in my hands. I'm wondering how he might be hurt. I can't see anything wrong with him. Maybe I can check the other side. I put my hand on top, and I bring him over, not to his real wanting, but I check his underside, his undercarriage. His feet seem fine. His feathers all seem to be where they belong as far as I could tell. And I bring him back upright again. All this time he's keeping his head in vertical position. Then I say, well, come on, I don't see anything wrong, let's fly. So I throw him up, but he just lands back in my hands without trying to fly. So I try again. Throw him up, and his wings go. He had command of his wings. You have command of your wings. Why don't you fly? And then on the tip of his fine woodpecker beak, I saw a fine drop of red blood on the tip of his beak. And I realized now what was wrong. It's not on the outside he was hurt, it was on the inside. And there in my hands, he began to shiver and shake and convulse and then go soft and limp and flop. He died in my hands. So I went over to the side of the road and laid him there in the tall grass. And there in the tall grass, as he laid, I looked up to the tree above where his friends had flown to. And with a moment of quiet, I then made my way back to my car and drove away. You're allowed to say no when somebody dares you something you feel is dangerous. You do not have to feel committed to do that. Please, it's okay. You're okay to say no. You're okay to say not for me. It's nothing wrong with you. You're not a chicken. And you want, you're better to be a chicken than you are to be a dead woodpecker. You better be a living chicken than you are to be a dead woodpecker. Don't feel embarrassed that you don't want to do what they're taunting you to do. Don't feel embarrassed about the dare that you will not participate in. You're okay. It's all right to be you. Thank you those who've watched my previous videos. Thank you to all those who are subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it very much. Thanks again to those who have pushed. Thanks to those who have pushed the like button on my where the like button is. And see you again in our next video. Keep smiling. Have a beautiful day.